We're going to be looking at a game between Kitahama and Fujii Souta. This was the 69th Osho tournament. Let's begin. So black uses the gokigen nakabisha. And white chooses to use the 7-3 silver variation. Silver goes to 6-4 and sometimes 7-5 pawn, or 3-4 pawn and the other silver goes up to 3-3 and 4-4. They call that one the crossfire. Many different ways of playing. Instead of 2-8 king, 5-4 pawn, and 5-2 gold is perfectly playable. But if the pawn takes, rook takes, 8-6 pawn, same pawn, 8-8 pawn. This is about equal. If the bishop takes, rook takes, 7-8 gold, 6-5 silver. And then how should black respond to this? If he takes the silver, this would be a mistake because of this bishop exchange, and then the rook takes on 8-8. So instead of silver takes, it's much better to take on 3-4 with check and move the rook back. This is about even. So in the game he played 2-8 king. Exchange the pawns of the 5th file. So he's able to use the pawn in hand and give more mobility for his rook. Fujii played 4-4 silver. Another try was 5-5 pawn. It looks like the rook might get trapped. But silver takes pawn, 6-5 silver. Alright, what does black play here? Yeah, 5-4 silver. So if he recaptures it, then rook just gets out. So he's going to take it. This is about even. Okay, so 4-4 silver instead. Okay, so this time he really doesn't want to allow him to play 5-5 pawn, so he retreats the rook. Uh, 4-6 pawn. Instead of this, if 5-4 pawn, there's a small trap here that I want to show you. How does white respond? 5-6 pawn. Instead of that, if he takes it with the gold, there's going to be this killing blow. Rook takes gold. And after this, the fork. Yeah, better for black. So 5-6 pawn. After he takes the gold, this is better for white. So this sets up a severe looking threat, but white can defend against it. 7-3 knight. Instead of that, if plays 9-4 pawn just to kind of show the threat. 4-5 pawn takes. You notice that these diagonals are opening up again. 6-5 silver. How should white respond against this? If he takes it with the silver, we again get that fork. So it's much better for white to exchange first and then play 5-6 pawn. This is about even. Okay, so in the game 7-3 knight. And if he tries 4-5 pawn, this is going to backfire. Okay, if the gold takes, some exchanges, and then the bishop gets out. It coordinates with the knight. Also threatens to drop a bishop here on 3-9. That's the killing threat. Okay. Instead of gold taking a 4-4 pawn, he just drops the bishop here. This is much better for white. Okay, also if 7-5 pawn, how does white respond to this? He shouldn't take this way because of 7-4 pawn. Just sacrifice the silver for the knight and then allow this token. Better for black. So 8-4 rook instead. If he tries to harass the rook with this, then he just moves it aside. Has to defend the bishop, and then 3-3 bishop. Another way of playing is 6-5 knight. Yeah, this is about even. Okay, so in the game he played 7-8 gold. He's trying to get some play along the diagonals. And 5-5 bishop. Instead of that, if he tried 5-4 rook, getting a lot more mobility for the rook, threatening 3-4 rook, hitting the silver, also 7-4 rook. And this also gets the rook out of the way of this 7-7 silver promote, gold takes, and 6-8 bishop fork. So against this, how should white play? 4-6 bishop. It protects the silver, and it also threatens 7-7 silver promote, gold takes, and 3-6 knight. So if 4-7 silver, just retreat. So he got the silver, but after 2-4 silver, this is complicated but better for white. So in the game he played 5-5 bishop. So what should white do here? If he runs the rook to 5-2, then after he takes the lance and exchanges, there's this threat of 1-2 rook. So this is a big success for black. So instead of that, Fujii played 5-8 pawn. Very strong move. So before moving his rook away from the bishop attacking it, he forces black's rook to a worse position. After he takes, then one more time, 5-7 pawn takes, and only now he moves it. So now the bishop is pinned. If he takes a lance, then he just loses the rook. So here, Kitahama played 5-4 pawn. And Fujii just took it. So now the rook isn't protected, but the bishop is still pinned. And in order to get this thing out of the way with check, so the bishop is still pinned if 2-2 bishop promotes, king takes, rook takes. Now 6-9 bishop, hitting the gold and the knight. So this is better for white. In the game, he tried to disrupt the katachi around white's king with this promotion. And now 6-9 bishop. 4-6 knight was also very good. 4-7 knight. Quick escape. Very good for white. F7 9 pawn. He drops the silver here. If 4-7 silver, this fork. Also good for white. And also if 2-1 rook, he just defends with 2-2 silver. But in the game, there was 6-9 bishop. This allowed a shobute by black. Can you find it? It's 2-1 rook. Now if he tries to defend with 2-2 silver, then 4-4 pawn. This could be enough to force a repetition. If the silver takes, rook takes, very strong move. Pawn takes, and then 6-8 gold. Okay, black has a tesuji here. Try to find it. It's 4-3 pawn. If the king takes it, then rook just takes the silver. 3-2 king takes the gold. So you got two generals for it. 6-4 bishop, and then 4-6 pawn. This is kind of unclear. Instead of pawn taking, if he instead takes the gold, we can see a sennichite variation I mentioned before. Okay, find the next move. 4-5 knight. So if 2-4 king, then you can just take on 2-2. So 3-2 king. And then what is the follow-up? Very strong. Rook takes gold. If the gold takes, then there's this mate in variation. So king has to take. And after 4-3 pawn promote, 5-3 knight promote here would be a bit thin because the king can run up. So instead of that, there's a tesuji. Can you find it? 4-2 pawn. Gold takes. And then again, if 5-3 knight promote, then this is a good defense. And then the king runs up. So instead of that, 5-3 gold. And now there's going to be a repetition, probably. 3-2 gold drop, and takes gold here, and then gold drop again. In the game, he played 6-8 gold. Okay, how should white defend here? If he drops the pawn, then he just takes the lance. So you'll use the silver instead. But after that, Kitahama played 2-4 silver. King has to take. If 3-2 king, he gets mated. So king takes. Okay, now how should white interpose? If he tries using a pawn here, there's this check. And now he threatens bishop drops on 1-3 and 3-3. So this is not good for white. He dropped the rook. Very strong move. And now this 2-5 silver drop doesn't work. Okay. Threatens to take on 3-8. Also threatens 3-6 knight drop. A very powerful attack on the diagonal. If 2-6 rook, 2-4 knight. Trying to desperately defend and attack at the same time, but to no avail. It just attacks the rook again. So winning for white. Okay, so instead of 2-5 silver, if he takes it and throws in this check again, you notice what happened? We ended up with the same position as before. So black can't continue to repeat due to it being with successive checks. That would be illegal. So he can't go into this variation. Very nice defense by white. Okay, so in the game he had to take here. It's after 7-6 knight. What does this move threaten? Okay, it threatens 6-6 gold, 5-4 king, 5-5 lance mate. So what did white play? Because this is a threat mate, he of course can't do this, right? He did 2-7 horse, and then there's going to be a mate, takes, and then 1-6 knight. Black resigned. If 1-8 king, 2-9 silver, takes and takes, this is going to be mate. If 3-9 king, then 3-8 silver drop. And mate. If 4-8 king, he exchanges this off and mates. That's it for this game. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and remember to subscribe and let others know about this channel. Any comments or questions can be left down below. If you'd like to further support the channel with donations, you can do so by clicking on the Streamlabs link in the description. Donations are not necessary, but are always welcome. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.